Be called possession of some.
Good evening and welcome to a Mitch and Mauck'n About the Cards podcast. I'm Mitchell and joined as always by the two-time United States champion of the world from World Championship Wrestling. He is also the owner and proprietor of the Superstition Ranch in Chandler, Arizona. Tyrell, we got the finals on tonight.
We do. I just turned them on a little bit ago, and then stepped away so we can do this, and going back to watch that after this.
Quick, name two guys on either the Knicks or the Spurs.
Jalen Brunson and Victor Wembanyama.
Okay, that was like cheating. I mean, that's everyone those two. I mean, this is the most basketball I've watched, in years. Mostly because we had it on in the hotel room Friday night. I was at a college camp this weekend. Here's the kicker: I was in beautiful St. Joe, Missouri. They do a great job hosting us, things like that. But my TV only got the Spanish version of the NBA broadcast.
Okay.
I had no idea what I was watching. No habla español. I speak Latin. Yeah, whatever. So I kind of followed the Cardinals the best I could. It looked like a Cincinnati sweep this weekend. Hunter
Boom.
Dobbins with the kind of the big assist. And then Saturday, Jimmy Crooks with the ABS call. Saved the game, saved the sweep, and then a nice win on Sunday. Tyrell, what are your thoughts over the Red Series that pushes the Cardinals 7 games now back over 500 as we approach mid-June?
I think we called a sweep on the last podcast anyway, so let's go. Gamblers get on board with us. This podcast is brought to you by Fangraphs. No, not really. No,
Polymart,
dude.
we're a Polymart place, dude.
Okay. No, I was super excited to watch that series. Glad to see the sweep. Just firing on all cylinders. Everybody looked good. We had some news to come down today that happened. But hey, Newbar came back with the force. I know we talked some crap on him. We always do. But hey, good series, good win. Let's get now we've got the 6th best winning percentage in all of MLB. So 2 months in, this is the team we're seeing. I'm loving it.
More on Newbar in a second, but late this afternoon, we did get some breaking news. Victor Scott II sent to Memphis. Nathan Church expected to be activated for the Mets tomorrow. I will say one thing about Chaim Bloom. It is not a roster turnover. It is a roster reinforcement. If you're not performing, they'll give you the runway to a point. Most problem was they just kept giving you the runway and giving it and giving it and giving it some more. If you're not performing, you're out of here, and we'll find somebody else who will. You saw that with Pajes, and then Crooks saved the game on Saturday. Scott is on a little of a mini heater, but his overall production not there. So he's going to go down to Memphis to figure it out and church up. What do you think about, kind of these roster, the reinforcement, the churn, I guess, so to speak, the flip over?
I honestly love it because it's creating that competition based inside your own organization. Like, hey, we're going to find somebody who's going to perform. So it's like always churning, always going to be like, finding the best player. It's almost like the NFL with the running back running the hot hand. But in this way, you're giving him the time to establish himself. And I mean, we've given Victor 2 years here now to like get on the ball. And this is it's depressing to watch and see, but I love the turnover. I love that we're trying to find the right charisma gelling of the team to get where we need to get, and that's winning baseball.
He's probably a 4th outfielder long term. I'm not sure if Church is the solution, but they're going to give him the chance to be that guy. And there's nothing that Church does that Victor Scott does. Church does it better. That's a better way to say it. There's nothing that Victor Scott does that Nathan Church doesn't do better. Better defender, gets on base at a higher clip, and might be just as fast, maybe a step behind.
And how do you know how fast he is? Because Jordan Walker's leading your team in stolen bases with 10, and that's just should not happen at all.
And more on Jordan here in a second too, but yeah, I would like to see him run a little bit more, especially with those guys. But the analytics, Cyrell said you don't run anymore.
I know there was a whole host. I was listening to the broadcast, and they were talking all about the running and everything, and how they should run on. And why are they? I guess it was the podcast with Derek Golden, how they're not running on Herrera, and they can't figure out why. But the analytics say it's not worthwhile to run anymore.
You look a generation ago at the 80s, so kind of the last great era of stolen bases. Vince Coleman for the Cardinals, Lou Brock, even before that, but Ricky Henderson in the A's and played for some other teams. Would they let Ricky run in this generation? Guy who stole 110 bases on the reg.
I don't think so. And I don't think that they would. I think Ricky probably ran a lot of times when Ricky wanted to run. Also, I love how we still talk about Ricky Henderson in third person all the time, like just like he did. Like it's always Ricky this, Ricky. I love that. But I don't think so. I think the analytics would try to because baseball has went down that path so much that they did gone away from the eyeball test and the pure athleticism. I don't think they'd let him run as much as you would think. Maybe get 50 attempts or 50 times to go.
Harold Reynolds tells a great Ricky Henderson story. Harold Reynolds won the stolen base championship in the American League, I think, in the late '80s. Over the winter, he got a call from Ricky Henderson. Ricky got hurt, and so it's why he
Oh.
didn't win it. And he picked up the phone and like, Henderson here. Hey, yo, Rick, how you doing? 65 stolen bases, win the championship. Ricky had 65 before the break, and he hung up. And then Ricky had like 67 before the All-Star break the next year.
That's awesome. I love it. I love
And
Ricky Henderson. What are the
what
Go
what won it last year? What won the stolen base championship last year? Let me look that up real quick. Any
Yeah.
guesses?
I'm gonna say 65 stolen
And
bases.
actually, stolen base leader tied between O'Neill Cruz and Juan Soto, 38 apiece.
What? What? Who won it
Checking
the
out
previous year?
the
Because Otani went 50 and 50.
last year in the American League, Jose Caballero, I'm going to butcher that, 49, with Jose Ramirez with 44. See who the current leader is.
Chandler
In the
Simpson.
American League, the current leader is Jose Ramirez and Bobby Witt, both with 23 currently.
Okay.
That's higher than I expected.
Yeah. It's respectable.
In the National League, the current leader, Nason Nunez of the Washington Nationals, also with 23. O'Neill Cruz with 21, Jacob Marcy with 16, and Acuna with 15. And of course, Jordan Walker leading the Cardinals with just 10 stolen bases. Somewhere Lou Brock rolling over in his grave. Lou had 10, after the opening weekend a lot. Is Jordan Walker a potential 30-30 guy, you think?
It's looking that way. And they had a tell the other night on one of the Reds pitchers, and we're just swiping bases left and right. So I think with what he's showing right now, I think he could be a 30-30 guy this year, which isn't that MVP numbers?
I believe it's MVP numbers. I don't know if he's going to get to 40-40.
No,
That's no longer the magic thing it used to be.
It's not.
Canseco being the first guy, but 30-30 would still be something. If they would let him run a little bit, I think Mason Wynn could potentially someday down the road be a 20-20 guy.
I do too. I agree with you on that 100%.
And 2020, JJ is definitely a 20-20 guy.
Mhm.
And for your middle infielders, 20-20 is some pretty magical numbers.
Yeah, I'd be completely content with the 2020 on both sides of the second base. I'd be totally content. That's a good, solid major leaguer right there.
Tyrell had originally started this segment with, "We're sorry, Lars Newbar," but the hell with that. This show has a curse, a jinx even, where we will talk crap about a guy in the next series he pops off. Lars Newbar activated from the DL Friday before the Red series. 3 hits, one of those being a home run that gave the Cardinals the lead. 3 RBIs, 3 walks, and a double. Do you want to apologize to Lars Newbar?
Absolutely not. The way this has been rolling for us all year long, we talk crap and I love it. They come back. So nope, sorry, Lars. We're in a love-hate relationship right now. So I'm not sorry. Keep sucking, buddy.
Can he be that spark plug? We had talked in our last show, the fun was kind of gone. Do you think he's the spark that they kind of need to kind of, how to get Stella her groove back, so to speak?
It kind of looked that way this weekend, man. Like they seemed to be playing a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more relaxed too, and had a little bit more fun. That could also be like that is addition by coming off that like without a trade. So yeah, it could be. I didn't think he was that spark plug, but it looked like that with that come from behind win on Saturday with that home run. So I think maybe that's that pick me up they needed.
We'll enjoy it till the 4th of July when he inevitably gets hurt again.
Yes.
Tyrell, today on MLB Network Radio, the White Sox assistant GM was on, and the White Sox are in a very similar situation to St. Louis. They're a young team, not expected to compete, and yet they're competing, and they're above 500. And their GM said, "Hey, if we're in it after the All-Star break, we're going to make some moves and go for it. We're going to add. We're going to buy." All along, we have been told by Heim, we're going to stay the course. We're not going to fall in love to get likes on X or other social media platforms. We're going to go. Came out Sunday night from Bob Nightingale on X that Dustin May and JoJo Romero are still expected to be traded. Right now, you're 7 games over 500. You're +2 as the #1 wild card seed. What are we gonna do? We're 6 weeks away from the trade deadline.
We're gonna buy by subtraction. So whatever that means. No, I hope you give it to the people in the field. Like the guys have been busting their ass, been doing their good job, winning baseball games. You have to like if you're in a position to win, you got to go for it. This stuff isn't. It comes around once in a great while. You're on one of those runs. Ride that tidal wave. I know you want to trade May. I know you want JoJo gone. Hell, they even floated Nolan Gorman. I think you're ahead of schedule, but you got to go with it. You've got to maybe trade JoJo, but you're getting something else in return for that, like a major. Because we know they need depth in the bullpen. We know they need depth in the starting pitching. Maybe you do something like that. I don't. I never thought it was going to be great to trade Derek May or Dustin May because I always thought it'd be a great reconstruction story, kind of like Chris Carpenter. But I think you got to buy, man. I think you have to if you want butts in the seats. Because even yesterday, the seats wasn't even full. But I think you should buy.
I'm gonna float 2 names at you that I think could help. The first one, Michael Wacha. He's on a last year of his deal with the Royals. He'd be a rental, probably
Innings eater.
low, but he'd be an innings eater, another veteran guy, playoff experience for a young staff, and probably wouldn't cost that much.
Right. I would love that. I'd love to see Walker come back around.
And then the last one, this one's gonna hurt because you're probably gonna have to give up some top 15 prospects. But Joe Ryan out of Minnesota.
I think they're already floating your guy Blaze out there, so I think Blaze could end up getting traded, especially with the year he's having so far in AAA. Him or Cooks. I don't think you're. Ooh, I hope they won't trade Bernal Rodriguez, but that's your depth right there. So I think they could trade from position to depth and probably get somebody for you. And I think I'm not upset too much about it because I think it's potential. We never know what's going to have proven versus potential every time for me.
Minnesota is 7 games out in a bad AL Central. They're probably not going anywhere. The price tag on a Tarek Skubal from Detroit is going to be astronomical. I personally would love to see them go out and make a move for a Zach Gallen, but I think Arizona is kind of knocking on the door of the wild card themselves. They're probably not going to make a move. Walker makes a lot of sense to come back.
Mm-hmm. And Gallen's only on a 1-year deal though, so there could be a little bit of wiggle room there. But yeah, I think Walker would be good. And he's a pitch to contact guy, and this defense is pretty good. So I don't hate that. And I think he's gotten over it. He knows how to use his stuff better in his command. I think it'd be a great rental to come in. A la Woody Williams too, come in here like that.
And he'd be a guy that could possibly re-sign as well.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Gallen is going to want to test the market. Joe Ryan's got 2 years of eligibility left before arbitration, before he would hit free agency. The Walker move would make a lot of sense, and he's not going to blog up, a Liam Doyle or Quinn Matthews from getting to that next level. They do need bullpen help, and it came out on Sunday night that Hunter Dobbins is going to make the start Thursday over Kyle Leahy. I don't know, and I didn't read. You can probably help me here. Is Leahy going to the bullpen, or are they just skipping his start?
They're just skipping his start. So they didn't want to screw Dobbins up. They wanted to keep him in starter potential. So they just wanted to skip Leahy this time.
I think Leahy be a heck of a weapon out of the pen.
Dude, he's a hell of a weapon out of the pen. That's why he's a starter, is because he's such a great weapon out of the pen. He is phenomenal.
And Riley O'Brien has struggled the last month out. The rest of the bullpen is kind of finding its place, and now your closers are struggling. The pen hasn't been hot at the same time all year.
Right. And O'Brien's scaring me, man. Like, he missing the strike zone a lot. I know he's gotten through the last couple outings. Stanek still scares me too. But Soriano looks good. You're right. They've never been hot at the same time. They're all one of them struggling. Graceffo comes and wheels you out of damage, and then they go somewhere else. Like, the walking is an issue too.
Graceffo's kind of become that fireman out of the pen. Like, we're in trouble, and Gordon can get him out of it.
Yeah, he's turning a well-rounded middle reliever. I really enjoyed watching him pitch.
I would like to see Soriano get some high leverage ninth inning stuff. He's got put away stuff.
He does.
And O'Brien does not. And I always kind of feel like your closer's got to be able to get a strikeout and Riley O'Brien doesn't have that.
Yeah, you gotta be able to blow up by him. He does it with change in velocity and everything, but Soriano comes at you. I would love to see a flamethrower in the ninth inning.
You know, Dave Veras was like that. Izzy was kind of like that after the injury.
It's a Dave
Mo-
Veras pull.
yeah, Dave Veras was a heck of a pull on me. The last two guys I could think of that were just straight flamethrowing out of there. Mott was a throw. Was all Mott had was fastball and slower fastball.
Mott scared the shit out of me every time he come in. Yeah, the dude could hit 99 to 100, but that was a straight fastball. There was
Yeah,
no break on that thing, no movement. That was straight. I'm like, bro, you're gonna get squared up on several times, and he did. He did. So, uh,
and
yeah,
Rosie had some heat out of the bullpen too. Trevor Rosenthal.
yeah, he did.
But other than that, they have never really had that big put away closer. Carlos that year he closed was all right at it, but I like my reliever to come in and just throw heat.
Yes, gas all the time. Here it is. Try to hit it, but it's got to have some movement. That's why. That's just all you need. Change speeds, movement, and good to go.
The Cardinals are in the Big Apple this weekend or this week. Dustin May going against Peralta tomorrow. The Wednesday night game, Palante versus Scott. And then Thursday's a day game. Again, the aforementioned Hunter Dobbins against TBA. Mets 7 under. They are struggling to kind of find their way. How do you see this series playing out?
2 out of 3. They're tough in New York to play, but I still think you're going to win 2 out of 3 out of this series, and hopefully the next two, so you've been on a nice little 5-game winning streak. I, but I could see I want to see him win Dobbins, but I think they're going to go one miss and then or lose and then win Palante or lose Palante start.
That's probably the next guy you start to look at on where you can get an upgrade.
Yes,
And maybe it's Leahy who goes into that spot, but Lipitor has not looked great either lately.
yeah, and it's like we were talking about last podcast. It felt like that little June swoon hit them. They're like, oh, the 2 months are in. Oh, now we're going for the long stretch. And they needed a little bit of a rest break. Like the All-Star game or All-Star break can't come fast enough for these guys, I feel like right now.
And speaking of All-Star break, the first wave of ballots has been out. They have not released the results yet. How many Cardinals do you think are going to make it? Ollie has been named to the coaching staff by Dave Roberts of the Dodgers. So good for Ollie getting his first kind of All-Star, nod there. And he deserves it. He's done a much better job this year that are exceeding expectations. Expectation at this point where we prayed for 500.
Yeah,
Now
we
you're
did.
+7. And when we do the show Sunday night, Tyrell, there's a chance they're 10 over.
Yes, absolutely. There's an absolute strong chance they're 10 over, which would we've been kind of, and that should be your benchmark of, oh, we've got to buy. We've got to help these guys on the field.
Yeah. We always said, once every 5 games is kind of your benchmark, and they've not been able to get to that yet. But I think when you kind of look at this weekend coming up, got the Mets, and then Friday night going to Minnesota. There's a chance that you can win 5 out of 6 this week.
I would say, yeah, you can go 5-1 this week. So, I mean, that would be ideal. If the Brewers aren't running away with this division, they're not, but I mean, they are. But like, they're right behind, lockstep behind them. So you've got to keep going while the iron's hot. You got to strike, and I think they need to do that. But I think
Yeah,
you win
I'm
five and
with
one.
and go find a third baseman.
Please, please. If you're not
They,
going to blaze up, then get a third baseman.
they have pretty much determined Blaze Jordan is not a third baseman. He's playing there 1 day a week. He's hitting .315 though with 10 home runs and 33 RBIs. Through 4 minor league seasons, Tyrell, he's got 72 home runs and an OPP of 899 and he's hitting .288. I hate to say it, I think he's probably your trade chip.
I think so. I know we're on that new bandwagon of Freeze Blaze Jordan, but I think he's your power trade chip that you're going to try to use this year.
They do have a young third baseman in Danielle Ortiz, who hit 13 home runs and 51 RBIs and 300 in A-ball last year. He's just been activated to Double-A, but he's probably 2 years away. Can you go find? I hate to run Jose Fermin out there, who does a great job as a super utility guy, plugging in spots.
Yeah.
I wonder if Seattle give Brendan Donovan back.
He's the oft injured Brendan Donovan because he's injured again right now.
Again, for the second time this year.
And so JC isn't it either. I've been low key hoping that they go after the Yankees third baseman because I liked his defense. Had pretty good powers. The former Colorado Rockies.
Brian McMahon.
Yeah, Brian McMahon. I've been kind of getting on that bandwagon a little bit because that he's the only one that we could probably get for a decent price and not Yankees can't fleece us because he's not doing that well. So
And if Judge is out long term, the Yankees will not buy.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah, yeah. With that rib injury or whatever we got in that debate about the other day.
You know, one site says it's a rib, the other one says it's a thoracic injury, and if
Yeah,
that's a shoulder, that's trouble.
absolutely, yeah. And that from what I was reading, if it's that thoracic outlet syndrome, that's hard to come back from. And I think that might be what Brandon Webb came back from.
Hmm.
I think he had that and just was never the same after that.
And a
So
guy who puts that much torque on his body as a power hitter,
yes,
is he a Hall of Famer right now? If he can never play again, was it two MVPs?
no championships, 2 MVPs, no championships. He's got the home run record, the AL, but I don't think he dominated for long enough. And that's just it. I don't think he's going to win it because of that. I mean, you've got to Barry Bonds isn't in, but that's for other reasons. But I don't think it's dominating enough to me, honestly.
But he was the best hitter on the planet, not named Otani, for 4 years. And you got to compare him to his peers.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you're comparing to his peers. He would be Hall of Fame stature, but I mean, if you go back you go back to the Frank Thomas days, like you had to have a 10 years of solid run to be considered a Hall of Famer. We're going to give him a Hall of Fame not after 4 or 5 years where he's great. I know he didn't hit till he was 27. So and he's 32 now, I think, if I'm right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this was his peak.
yeah.
We're seeing his peak.
So 4 or 5 great years. I mean, against his peers, yeah, he'd be a Hall of Famer then.
Especially because he played for the Yankees. He was the
Yes.
captain of the Yankees.
Yes. You're exactly right.
Finally tonight, I saw this on X, so I did not see this live, but someone posted a picture of a Daniel Ponce de Leon jersey at the ballpark.
Who?
Carl,
Okay.
what is the most random jersey you've seen at the park?
I think it was out here in Arizona when I saw the Ray King or what other King do we
John
have?
King.
Yeah. I actually met Don King in Vegas, by the way. So
So John King.
yeah, it
That's
was
a
John
Are you
King.
sure? Are you
Yeah.
sure it wasn't John King? Going to get a snack in between innings.
I don't know. But yeah, it was in the bleachers out here, and I was like, I've never seen a John King jersey out here.
Still see a lot of Kobe Rasmus ones when I go around the ballpark. What's your opinion on those guys? Like, I know that shit's expensive, man. Like, I get
Yeah.
it. You paid $150 for a shirt that you probably wear 2-3 times a year at most. But now you still see the Arenado jerseys floating around, the Goldschmidts. Poole's coming back. He's a Hall of Famer. That's cool. Yeah, my wife saw a Wainwright one.
Yeah.
What is acceptable? What's not to wear at the ballpark jersey wise?
I think if they're Hall of Famers or Cardinals Hall of Famers, it's totally fine to wear them.
So the Matt Holiday is fine.
Matt Holiday is going to be fine. They're iconic, stuff like that. Yes. But Colby Rasmus, no. I have a Goldschmidt one as well, but it's the blue St. Louis one. And it looks great. But I don't want to wear it to the ball field because he's not part of us anymore and he's still playing for a different team. So you got to retired and be an icon for you to wear the jersey.
And no active guys on other teams.
Right. Exactly.
You know, Fanatics the other day had their like garage sale or whatever. They were selling like $2 NFL jerseys for dudes who were 3 teams removed from the team they were on. People are just buying them up left and right.
Heck yeah.
I'm trying to think what I've got. I still got a Larry Walker floating around. I'm not sure that's. I
He's
got
Hall of
Matt
Famer.
Adams one.
Hall of Famer.
He's an MLB Hall of Famer. For his year and a half in St. Louis wasn't great. He was kind of broken by the time he got to St. Louis. And I still have, like I said, a Matt Adams one. I love some big city. Kind of made me think I could play in the show. But I don't think I've got any other current. And what is kind of your thought as we kind of wrap up tonight on wearing shirts, jerseys of guys younger than you?
It makes me feel so old and insignificant, like I haven't done shit with my life. Really does. I hate it. I hate it that it just makes me like, oh man, I'm so pathetic. I'm wearing a jersey of a 23-year-old that's making, 3 times what I do. And I know you had to work at it. I know, but I'm not a huge fan of it. But you know what? It's what fandom is. So I really don't care. If you want to buy your jersey, spend the money, go right in. Support the guy that you want to support. Like I'm going to try to find a Baez jersey. I was just thinking about buying a Rafael Furcal jersey for some reason when you were saying like iconic because I loved him at shortstop. That dude had a fucking cannon for an arm, and I loved watching him play.
I wonder if you could grab a bias off the Memphis team shop.
Ooh, I'll have to look into that now. See, and if you could do minor league shirts, those are awesome too. I love those.
Sitting here talking about don't wear another man's name on your body as I'm wearing a Waylon Jennings t-shirt. The
Fair
last
enough.
outlaw, man.
There you go, buddy.
That's a little different though. Waylon, being a country music icon. That's a little different to me than being a 44-year-old man wearing a Mason Wynn jersey.
Yes, yes,
My buddy
yeah.
Blaine always has this theory, like you never wear another man's name on the back of your shirt. That's for girlfriends and little kids.
I Hey, I had that thought for a long time, and I was like, you know what? Let's just go embrace it. Like, what else you gonna do with it?
Where do you draw the line at though? Like yours is no former players on current teams.
Yeah, that's mine. And then like other than that, like roll with it. Because I know, like you said, it's $150 you're gonna pay, especially if you're gonna buy the good ones. Yeah, you already spent the money, go ahead. But they're still playing, you can't wear that.
Now you can be like $20 on the TikTok shop, man. You never know.
It's fair. You never know who you're gonna get. How many David
Yeah,
Freezes you see though?
see a lot of freezes. I
Yeah.
mean, I think his time in St. Louis was warranted. Don't see a lot of Gibsons. Don't see a lot of Brocks. Occasionally, you see a Stan. You
Yeah.
don't see a lot from those '80s teams at the ballpark, other than the Aussies.
Yeah, you don't. Somebody commented on our TikToks that they had a Willie jersey, and I've never seen a Willie jersey out in the wild.
No, I did have a Tommy Herd T-shirt jersey that I found at the Cardinal Clubhouse store in the old Chesterfield Mall in
Ha,
the
that
early 2000s.
you are talking old Chesterfield Mall because that thing is no longer there.
Yeah, gosh, that thing hasn't been a thing in what 10 years?
I think so. Yeah. Oh, well, we drove by it several months ago. And it was just like a Tesla parking lot.
Yeah. The Cheesecake Factory, that place was great though.
Yes. Yes,
To
it
go
was.
upstairs to the AMC theater there at the Cardinal Clubhouse store. I can say the last time I've been to a mall in St. Louis, or I was a Galleria fan for a while.
Yep. I was just about to say I've been to the Galleria more so than anything else. I was a fan for that because they had the fancier stores.
Shout out to the West County Mall though. That's where the fancy stores are now.
Yes, it is.
I cannot afford to shop at the West County Mall. But the Columbia Mall here in beautiful Columbia, Missouri, we have patiently waiting. We're going on 6.5 months now for Sbarro to reopen.
Oh,
The signage is up now. Finally, it was coming soon, but at least now the signage is there.
what's
I still need some, I love some Sbarro, dude.
what's the Columbia Mall got in it these days?
We got a card store, which is okay. We still got the two anchor stores are now. We got a Dillard's, we got a J.C. Penney is still holding on, and Target.
Okay. Okay.
But everything else is kind of just cycling through, kind of in and out. The card stores where the old Foot Locker used to be.
Okay.
Victoria's Secret still holding strong.
Abercrombie Fitch,
GameStop.
American Eagle.
We haven't had an Abercrombie dude since we were in college.
Wow. Okay.
We used to have an Abercrombie and a Hollister.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah. I tried to work at the
American Eagle.
Abercrombie.
Oh, look at you, being pretty.
I was trying to be.
Hi, can I help you find anything? Spray.
That's right.
$90 for a fucking t-shirt in 2004.
Yeah. So I
I
always
still
shop
have
there
an
at clearance time.
I still have an Abercrombie shirt, I think. It's
I have-
green and it says Sorority Pledge Master. on it.
Yes. I got the blue and it says Abercrombie on the side. Yes.
We the TikTok shop, there's a promo there. Let's hot link it. They had the Hollister Breeze cologne, and I bought it, and it smells straight up like 2002.
Yes.
And
I love it.
for it.
I love it.
my-
I'm about it.
My daughter loves the Oak Park Mall in Kansas City, and we went to Abercrombie, and I realized I reached old man dad age. I'm like, $80 for these shorts that cover absolutely nothing.
Yes. Yeah.
It was too dark in there. It was too loud. I'm like, you are going back to Gymboree and finding your stuff.
Oh.
Oshkosh Bagosh or whatever.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Yeah, dude, I
Oh.
was at a coaching clinic 15 years ago at a camp. We would have kept that. We would have rolled all night and then gone out and coached the next day. I was asleep by 10 o'clock every night at camp
Hey,
this week.
you had to get that rest.
Gotta get that rest to go coach some kids. Cards and Mets for 3. We'll be back Thursday night to break it all down for you. For the Mouth of West, Tyrell Mock, I am Mitchell Jenkins, and we will see you on Thursday night.